Yesterday in Canada, there was a federal election. So in Canada, you have two major parties, the Liberal Party and the Conservative Party. You also have a couple of smaller parties, including the Bloc Québécois, which wants the province of Quebec to be more independent and separate, and the New Democrat Party and the Green Party. These are the five major parties of Canada. So the Liberals won with 169 seats, and this constitutes a minority government, 3 away from the number required to attain majority. So what is this about majority and minority? A majority government is when a single party has over half of the seats in a parliament, and this gives them significant powers. So basically in Canada's system, over half of all the MPs, members of parliament, need to agree on things like bills and proposals for these to be passed. And if all of the members of a single party agree to pass something, then they can do so unobstructed. This means that the opposition parties, they will have less influence in a majority government. This also means that majority governments tend to be more stable. Since there are more MPs, and since you also need half or over to have the confidence of the members of parliament, it's quite easy for a majority government to hold on to power through the whole of their 4-year term. Now contrast this with a minority government. So a minority government is where no party has over half of the members of parliament belong to a party, and here there are some restrictions. So here the opposition parties, they become a lot more powerful. And in this case, they can turn down a lot of bills or proposals, because in this case, if all the other parties turn it down and the party who got elected, they want to pass a bill, but everyone else turns it down, then it won't get passed because it doesn't pass 50%. And in this case, in a minority government, smaller parties can also be quite important, because they can either decide to align with one of the two big parties, which are either the Liberals or the Conservatives, and this can play a pretty important part in deciding what gets passed. So here, it's also more difficult for the party who got elected to accomplish all of their objectives, because they also need to pass legislation which will please the other parties along with themselves. So yeah, this is the difference between a majority and a minority government in the Parliament of Canada.